Hello everybody, Forest Month is here. Guys who are here on this channel for a long time, they probably know that I like more tougher knife than, let's say, slicey knife. So my preparation in knives, even folders, so folders or fixed blade, I like those, let's say, hard used knife. That's why you shouldn't be surprised I bought this SR1 Lite cold steel, of course, it's light version. This one with the clip point, I just walk around some local hardware shop and I saw it displayed. So, oh, okay, and it was for good price. I asked that. I had a few chats with the guy, and I said, okay, I'm gonna buy the knife, and he gave me even better price for it. So I get it for about $70 US, which is for me very cheap. It's a kind of cheaper knife, so it's cheaper than the Machina Hunter before, and I don't have many cheaper knives than this one. Okay, so SR1 Lite, made of 8CR13 MOV, as we might see here, made in Taiwan, I believe. Yes, the steel, I'm gonna talk about that in the comparison part of this video. So when I stop this talking, you're gonna see the second part of this video where I will put this knife on the side of some fixed blades and some folders. So I'm gonna talk there about this, even about the steel. So I leave it now. 3-aught lock on it. So what's surprising, this one works nicely, as you can see. It's good to be better. That's why I hold it over this one. This one I do this, so it couldn't close or lock my fingers. Of course I won't do that because the knife came very sharp, guys. Okay, I get some hints, specifications, but just I'll show you more. I don't want to bore you with the details because there is many videos about the knife, even table reviews or some hard use tests. So I will be no different. I just tell you few informations about the knife, and of course I'm gonna do the tests as normally I do. What I want to say only, there is, of course, I believe everyone know, there are two versions: the original with S35VN version and the G10 scales, handle scales, like the original. So I'm looking for the Tanto version. Of course, I like the Tantos, especially the cold steel Tantos, the modern. And that was first thing. The second thing is it's triple price than this one. That's okay. Something it's interesting if there is really different in the steel and the Griff X material for the handle, and the S35VN version, and or the S35VN steel. It's that really triple times different. I don't know in the 5mm thickness, but okay, I'm not in that kind of, I don't know, simply. So I will start with details, very rough. So 194 grams or 6.9 ounces. This guy, maybe some a little bit different. So it's lighter than many fixed blades, with length, of course, about 5 inches in blade. So as that blades you're gonna see after this on the second part in this video. So this one could be lighter than that one, but of course that one fixed blades, and we should think about they need a sheath for it. So it adds few tenths, so let's say 40, 50, 60, 70 grams for the sheath. This one doesn't need it. Of course, there is this clip, steel clip, which we can take off and stick it on the other side. So lefty or righty, no problems. As we know, we can move this, I don't know how to say it, so it's simply this thing we can hold with our thumb to open the knife. And so we can move it a little bit on the one side or other side. I did it actually on the Voyager XL, or yes, here it is. That doesn't matter for the video, but I move it a little bit on one side. So because I'm right, I carry it in for the right hand, so I move it to more friendly for my right hand. So it doesn't matter, we can move it. That's absolutely great. How this one, as I said, this knife was displayed in the shop, so I don't know if somebody did something with it, but because the knife is very sharp, so if somebody did it, then mustn't be something really bad. So we can see how the blade sits there. It seems to me it's a little bit more that way. No problems, no problems. So it's all right. Anyway, I forget what I want to say. I spoke about the sheath in the fixed blades and the steel clip. It's very hard to put it in your pants. Oh, guys, there is, you know, if we are talking about this clip, check it out. Check out these two clips. Even with this measurement and this. So this one looks just much tougher just from the first side, and it is like that. So I have to do something, otherwise I can't accommodate it into my pocket. Same actually as I did on Voyager XL drop point, drop point and the clip point version 2. I took the file from what I actually got on my Leatherman, used the file, so of course I took it off, took the file. It did absolutely great. I believe it's maybe the best thing for it, because it is rough enough to remove the material, but it's not too rough that you remove maybe more than you really wanted before that for it. And second thing is the size of the file is like nicely under that, so like this one, so it's great for it. So that's my recommendation, but of course the way you do it, it's up to you, but you have to do it properly. Or somebody says, okay, I like to have a, like, let's say, belt sheath for it, which is kind of okay. Why not? That's not bad. But why to carry folder 194 grams, almost 200 grams, with 4 inches blade actually? Because when I will have the 4 inches fixed blade and add the sheath, then I'm going to close to this. So I don't know, there's maybe not only the size, you know, because that knife will be actually, let's say it will be that long about, so you make the sheath for it. Okay, anyway, the pocket clip is really tough, or stiff, sorry, stiff, so you have to do something with that. That's what I want to say. The thickness of the blade is 4.8 millimeter or 0.19, so it's very thick, same like 0.19 is like the Silent Hero, for example, fixed blade, so that's that thick it is. Very close to Tracker T3 Tracker, very close to that, so thick. Okay, the blade itself, and I mean complete blade, 4 inches or 10 centimeters. The cutting edge is slightly shorter, 3.82 of an inch. 3.82 from this one to the very tip, and or 9.7 centimeters, so almost 10 centimeters real cutting edge. Over length when open, 24 centimeters, yes, 24 or 9.44, so almost, okay, 24 centimeters, 25 centimeters, but 25, most of my 5 inches fixed blades go 25 centimeters, but of course we are talking about open. That's how it's gonna be with the folders. The closed knife has 14 centimeters, so 14, that's quite long compared to the, let's say, something more carryable is, let's say, this Emerson Commander. So I try to add it, so you can see it's slightly longer, but of course we are talking about the thickness, it's much more thicker, much more. I don't care, for me it's not a problem. For somebody say, oh okay, I need to 3 millimeters down, not for me, but okay, maybe somebody who's working in the jacket, and I don't know. Okay, thickness on the handle, so here this is 1.5 centimeter, exactly 1.5 centimeter or 0.6 of an inch. So this one, nice. And the width is, I don't know, oh yeah, the close, like this one on the thickest spot, which should be somewhere here, is 4.1 centimeters or 0.162 of an inch. So generally 4 centimeters, this one, or 1.6 of an inch here. It's a piece of steel, guys, or piece of knife. Okay, the steel, as I said, HCR13 MOV. It's not bad steel. It's stainless steel. The higher number there is 9CR15 MOV, I believe, is compared to VG10. So that's somewhere we are slightly under that. Absolutely good steel for knife, especially for the price, and with the thickness. Okay. The steel tip, I said, the 3-yard lock. Oh guys, I saw the test when the cold steel made the test. This knife, exactly, I mean, the SR1 Lite 3-yard lock holds 400 pounds. 400 pounds the locks hold up. So that's absolutely great. The back spacer, as I heard, should be made of G10. So this one, of G10, same as the original S35VN version. So this one should be the same, probably what I found on the YouTube. We got the Griff X material. This Griff X material, you know, I don't like that much these. I don't know why they don't use the micarta or G10 generally, like they use on that or on the original version. Or we got the Griff X here. Sometimes you say, okay, they want to be cheaper, etc. I don't know, you know, can you imagine how much this one can cost? This, I don't know, 14 centimeters, I said, and this is, I don't know, 3 millimeters, let's say. This one, the size, so 14 to 4 to 3 millimeters. I don't know, guys, that must be really expensive. I don't know, because Oppo, they bought thousands knives, so okay, maybe they got better price. I don't know what, but for me was important. Is it the same? Is it the same good as, let's say, the G10? And I would say yes. I found what this Griff X material is. It's generally like European or actually Swiss-made material for these handles, and even they made like blades out of it. Even it's plastic, so it could hold some toughness and even edge, which is, of course, maybe it's not from that. It's not, or it's hard to detect it by the metal detector because it is not a steel or metal actually. So this is very tough material. Made I don't know if it's made in Swiss, but it's Swiss technology. They compare it to Zytel, which should be US material. And they add to this material, to Griff X, some kind of minerals which shouldn't be in the Zytel. That's what I found, but I don't know, you know. Simply that's the info what I found. So seems to me that's important. This one should be very tough material, and I never seen any break, you know, any problems. Anyway, general like G10. But the point is, when this material is definitely some kind of crap, even not cheap, because you know, Swiss in Europe is definitely not a cheap country, you know. So is that really that huge, price and in quality? If they said, okay, we got a G10, I believe, I don't know, guys. So maybe you who are living in the USA, the G10 is probably the US material and it's probably made in USA, but I don't know. If yes, is it really that price difference like that? Okay, it's made in Taiwan. So important. It's close to Europe, to Taiwan, then from USA to Taiwan. I'm also absolutely. I have no idea. But as I said again, this is very tough material. So I'm absolutely no worries about it. So it's not kind of cheap. You know. Okay, where we gonna save money? Put there some kind of plastic, and because it's thick, we got steel liners here. So the steel liners, by the way, as we can see a finish here, and they are just partially like cut it in. So if you're gonna see or if you go and have a look on the YouTube and you see disassemble this knife, you see that it's this one. The liner sits in there because it's machined. It's machined. The shape of the steel liner is machined, so it's sticked on that. So it's like from inside, it's like one flat part, and it's really nice. And what's important, everything here is replaceable with the original way or original knife. So let's say I'd like to buy the original Tanto version, and from I don't know how, I simply break something, you know, in it, the pivot, let's say, or the stop bar, or the whatever. Then I say, okay, will I buy the expensive knife again to change it, to replace it, or I just take this one and I will use it. I'm gonna use it for fixing. The interesting is if you go the original version and this one in use, if you don't do something really stupid, I mean, if you do really nice knife task, even for some batoning and this, so something harder than usually many people don't do with fixed blade, there's no really need to have, you know, that S35VN version. It's just because we want it. I want it. So, but I believe that one is alright. So if you can replace everything, everything else, not the steel, not the nor the handle scale, there's no difference. I just swap it out. So I don't know why is that. Anyway, as I said, I can use it. I can use it for as a different or spare parts if something gonna happen on that original version, if I will have it. So, and I hope I will. Thread lock, that's what I said. Now, something what I found on this knife, especially, as I said, I don't use this one. So as I said, it's out of the board, or as I said, almost 5 millimeters thick blade, guys. Absolutely great. This is softwood, just like that. I will do the outdoor test, but guys, wow, this is the soft wood, as you can see here, and this is hardwood, or definitely harder. Okay, I'll try to keep it there, but it's hard to do it when you hold yourself back. So this is the hardwood. Okay, what I want to say is very sharp out of the box. Absolutely cold steel, as normally they do. Excellent, great job, guys. What I found on this knife, that's not now. Okay, before I do that, there are 3 positions on the knife which I do really like. So the standard, a little bit prolonged, and we got choke here, so I can go a little bit further. Sorry, I can choke up here and use it in this way. Absolutely great idea. Excellent. Now, the problem with the knife is I found these liners. You're gonna see how it's loose here on the top. I never seen something like that before. It allows me to open the knife in this way. So it was very interesting. Maybe it's gonna lose because they wanted to do it in this way. So of course I could tie it up, but you know, I simply didn't see that before. Here we've got bronze washers here on this knife, and here you can see significant gap. I mentioned that I can see simply through the knife on the screen, and I don't like it. Here are bronze washers. You let's see. And here could be the Teflon washers, same as here. Here, on the other hand, I can see through, but very, very slightly. I can stick the paper here from the side, but not here. Not here. What about the Voyager XL? No way, no way. There's no. I can't see anything. No way here. And here are bronze washers, I believe, 2, and the gap here is significant. So on this one, yes, but you see the whole space. So I can stick it here, of course, but here, because there is no any space here, so it's different. But it was kind of weird for me. The gap is really big, and of course I will tidy it up. Maybe that's why is the blade out of center a little bit. I don't know, but I never seen that before. By the way, its torque seems to be definitely not T10. It must be something higher. I didn't try it because I tied it up because I like you to see it. So it's probably Torx T12, probably. So I'm gonna fix it a little bit. But in the other hand, I like the possibility to open it in this way. And somebody mentioned, because the blade is so heavy, so it has some momentum. When you do this, it goes open. I also like the box. The box, like here, should be with I've been added by every company which sells actually everything, but in this kind of interests, let's say, in the knives. Why? Because you know mostly what are you buying. That's very important. What I miss there is just the hardness, or just hardness. It's not there. You can't find it there, and I'm not sure if I can find it on the cold steel page. I believe that it is not there. But anyway, so many companies don't do that. Why? I don't know. I mean, on the box, you can find many information many informations about the knife which you buy. I'm talking about the different companies. So you can buy many informations. I mean, in the good companies, so like the SOC, TOPS, SC. So you know the steel, you know the hardness, you know the coating, you know the handle material. This is not on the box, which is always good to know. But about the hardness, you know, that's scary topic for, I believe, many, especially the cheap knife companies, because you know how much or what's the level of your hardening process, how many HRC is there. And so somewhere I heard the story. A company was the gap between those borders, I said, the lines of the hardening process, and they said with about 38 to 56, I believe, HRC. I said, what? So I can do it, because just try and then keep it in your microwave for some time or something like that, and you got it. That's when I heard it. I said, oh God, never buy knife on that from that company, made by that company. So, and we are closing. Finally, what I found here, it is on my model, on this knife. Here, just have a look in it. Yeah, now you can see the color change in it here, inside of that. It seems to be like kind of brown, or something like if you overheat the steel, you may get this color. You see there are kind of a few, I would say, waves, or I forget that. Okay. Simply many colors. When you do the hardening process, you put let's say a steel or iron from the fire. you put it into oil and it burns and do something, and you see many colors of that, and I can see it here, and I don't know if it's burnt or just simply dirty, or I don't know. What I only guess, I hope it doesn't change anything on toughness, because it is simply in this way. So of course it's reinforced if the knife is not made for it. But anyway, if I do this one, it's reinforced by the screw, by the liners, and etc. And in this way of using, it shouldn't be any problem. I hope so. But it was kind of, I never seen that on any of cold steel knife. I don't know how it's gonna get there. When I disassemble the knife, which I will definitely one day do it for cleaning, let's say. So I'll check it out, try to clean if it's just on the top, just it's, say, kind of dirty, or it's not. It's some bad hardening or tempering, something like that happen. So I hope it's not like that. Anyway, that's it for this video. It was again a bit longer, this talking, than I expected, but I hope you get some information. Of course, you're gonna see the test video, and I hope I will buy the original version, and I will do some comparison with it. Of course, what this one can do, the original should do it even better. That's expectation. And of course, I'm looking for the Tanto version. Don't want this one. If you ask me, so what was better for me, the clip point or Tanto, I said I like the Tanto, but for using, they said the belly is great. I'll make another video about the Tanto and belly, or just rounded edge. But I would prefer this kind than this kind, because if we are talking, I need to use it for skinning and these things. This thinner blade, this is hollow grind, this thinner blade, and more pronounced belly here than here. This is more straight down. I don't like it that much, so I'll be happy to have it more pronounced, especially like here, than this, if I need it, because I want it. Or I like to have more longer blade, because when you see the Tanto usually has more useful blade, somewhere here. Why? Because there is slight curve just to the point when it goes to the let's say chisel shaped or something like that. But until that, you got really still good blade, which you leave when you slice, and then it leaves. Here you got it same, but you're gonna lose it faster, because when you hit some part of somewhere here, the knife flies off just like you, and you do slices again. The Tanto version stays on the material slightly longer, so it may be different when you do your slicing. You can do it with less movements, the slicing movements. But that's just for the start of the video. But we'll check it out. Anyway, thank you very much. Have a nice time. Bye. And now is gonna carry on the comparing with the other knives. Have a nice time. Bye. So here we have the SR1 Lite set at, I would say, in the middle somewhere, among those fixed blades. That's important. All of those, except the SR1 Lite, are fixed blades, as you can see. And the top is the Lion Steel M5 T2, Tops T2 Tracker, Tops Bootlegger one, the Despot Large version, Park River Kalahari Bushman 2, and I forget this one, sorry, the name, don't use it many times now, the Wenger, some kind of woodworking, I don't know, some strange name, and this is the Gerber Survivor. Interesting on this knife and this knife is this is HCR 13 MOV, I believe, so it should be the same steel as the SR1 Lite, and this one is the same steel or a bit worse, so 7CR something. And if I'm talking about my experience, I said many times I beaten up really this knife, Not really this one. I did the tests, so I bought this one, as I said in the video. Just, you know, I like the design, but it's not my number one carry knife. So it's in collection, wasn't expensive, so I'm fine with that. But what I want to say, I batoned with this, and as you can see, it's full flat. Even it's sorry, about 5 mm thick, so very close to the SR1 Lite. And this one is 4.5, I believe, or 4.8. Also very close. And as I said, I beaten up this knife, and the steel holds up very well. It's really great. So I don't have any problem that this knife, the folder SR1 Lite, is made of the steel, because especially in the thickness, you probably can't destroy it. And definitely, if yes, then you have to do something really bad with the knife. Okay, so you can see that length comparison, that was that. So as we can see, because it is the folder, so the SR1 Lite has the longest handle out of all of these, as we can see, absolutely, but very short, very short, I would say that. It's from the shorter side on the blades. So as you can see, this one is, because this is under 4 inches blade, this one I believe as well, this one is somewhere on the border, especially with the groove here, or as we can see, because the real cutting edge is absolutely under 4 inches. Here we are very close, very close to 4 inches, and here we are above the 4 inches. So this one is 11 centimeters, somewhere that, and that one is definitely, the blade is 5 inches, I believe. Same on the tops, and on the lion steel is there, because the is more of, like saying, the massive, but as we can see, it's not the longest knife. It's, I believe, 0.2 of an inch shorter than these two knives, as I remember correctly. But so that's just the length comparison. Now some thickness. So I try to stack those knives so you can see the SR1 Lite here. So check this is slightly turned, twisted. This is 4 millimeters. This is the 5. This is close to 5. As I said, this is 4.5, somewhere there. And this is 5, I believe, also. And this is 1/4 of an inch. This is close to 5, and this is 4.8. So just generally, so you can see that how it falls down. So the SR1 Lite has definitely some tough or thick blade, as we can see, and compare with, let's say, with this, which is, as I said, I believe made of the same steel. This is fixed blade, and that's so see the thickness here, and see that this one, the SR1 Lite, maybe promises better grip, because see the sharp corners on this Voyager knife. I don't know why they did. Maybe they saved, you know, some, I would say, money, because, you know, to do this one rounded, etc., takes time and costs some money, of course. So just remind. So these three knives, these three knives are made generally with the same steel, and this one, as I said, holds pretty well. And this one, so many people made a test of this knife, or even the Tanto version, and it's great. There's no problem. Okay. And now some folders. And here we see the Voyager large drop point XL version. So as you can see, it's the longest. It's the longest out of these. Then the SR1 Lite. Then this one, Zero Tolerance 0200, Emerson Commander, and Mackinac Hunter, Cold Steel Mackinac Hunter. AUS 8 CPM 154 cm, sorry, 154 cm. This SCR 13 MOV and AUS 10A steel. So if one of them is premium, okay, we can call these two knives as a premium, but for today's standards, I don't think so. But okay, important on this, you know, the theoretically the strongest knife should be this one, First, because they claimed is made to be a replacing of fixed blade in matter of toughness, which they said, but it's not like that. If you don't know, please have a look on my test video of this knife. Problem is, of course, I believe it's a liner lock. I'm not sure now. Yeah, seems to be liner lock. Yeah, you can see it from the test. So absolutely not, because the others, especially this knife with the steel liners only, it holds up, plus this kind of handle. And when I did the test for the drop point XL Voyager, then there's no, absolutely no. And of course, the Emerson Commander liner lock, simply the liner locks can't compare with the 3-aught locks on the cold steels, and they're absolutely great. What I said, so this one should be the best because 154 cm, they claimed is made to replace the fixed blade. It's kind of thick. You see comparison with the thickness here, I mean the handle, so how much or how much material is here. And the second thing is the price. The price was, I believe, yes, definitely triple times. In that time, I bought it a couple of years ago, then today's this one. No, absolutely no. I mean, in matter of quality, toughness, etc., absolutely not. This knife doesn't worth that money if we compare it with the others. Simply, oh, okay, the other cold steels. That will be better to say. Okay, what about the thickness? So I must hold them. So as we can see here, the thickest is probably the Voyager XL, probably. Then probably the zero tolerance, and very close with the SR1 Lite. And then of course the Emerson, and the last thing, or maybe it's because the handless, let's say handle scales on the Mechanic Hunter are just small, so maybe these last two knives are same, but the most of tougher or the best or the toughest knife that the folder is the Mechanic Hunter. I mean, about the construction. Why? Because as I said, this knife is made generally with these steel liners, and you can't beat them with these thin liners, steel liners, or even with without liners. Or okay, there are some, but only partially, but still, or even the hardened aluminum liners in it. And of course we got the Griff X material, or here G10, or even here G10. Why? Of course because the steel is tougher than that. So that was some kind of comparison. Let's